It is I, John Reagan, the uncommon voice for the common man, coming to you today live from Shadyside, Ohio, where I have more than a few things to say about Joe Biden's incredible comments on the campaign trail in Virginia, where, at a stop, he told a predominantly black audience that Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and Republicans, quote-unquote, want to put you all back in chains, end quote. That is an absolutely incredible statement for any Democrat to make. And not to mention the fact it's just full of holes as far as historical accuracy goes. So therefore, what I want to do today is I want to talk to you African Americans and give you a little bit of an American history lesson so that you understand just exactly what the deal is with these damn worthless Democrats. Apparently, you seem to think because the heat big Indonesian chief president of ours is black, that makes things all right for you. Well, I got some news for you people. That is just about as far from the truth as you can get, and I'm going to prove it. But first, let's go over this historical lesson. Let's go back to the days before the Civil War. What political party was it that actually wanted to keep slavery as an economic business form? And that would be the Southern Democrats. That's right, before the damn Civil War, it was Southern Democrats that wanted to keep slavery. It took white abolitionist Republicans to do something about it and fight the war for slavery to get rid of it, to fight the war against slavery and do away with it. White Republicans did this. My own family were Ohio volunteers and were abolitionists and joined the Ohio volunteers in the Union Army to fight to end slavery. But once again, because I'm white and I'm conservative and Republican, I am a racist. Okay, now let's move on to the Civil Rights Act. Who was it that actually didn't want anything to do with the Civil Rights Movement and voted against it? Well, that would be the Democratic Party. People like George Wallace standing in front of schools that would allow black people into schools. It took a white Republican president by the name of Dwight David Eisenhower to send in federal troops to enforce the Civil Rights Act. A white Republican president was the one that actually gave the black people the rights to go to schools and universities. It wasn't a Democrat. It was a white Republican. And now, let's go to today. Let's look at the African American unemployment rate. The African American employment rate is 14.4%. That's 6.1% over the national average. That's right, the national unemployment rate's 8.3. African Americans are 14.4. And Joe Biden's telling you that you will be put back in chains by the Republicans? How in God's name do you, as African Americans, believe any of this? Look what's going on with these people. 110 million people in this country receive some sort of welfare benefits. 110 million people. There's only 315 that live in the damn country. 315 million that live in the country. In your political party, your president are the ones that are responsible for all this. They are the ones letting you live in poverty. And back to the history lesson. Who is the only black Supreme Court justice now on today's sitting Supreme Court? That would be Clarence Thomas. And this black Supreme Court justice was appointed by a white Republican president. It's unbelievable to listen to this go on from these damn Democrats. And what's sad about this is you African Americans swallow it hook, line, and sinker. It's absolutely appalling. But what I want to do here is offer you a choice. Because unlike your worthless president, who thinks you're all a bunch of idiots, I think you're better than that, and I'm going to prove it to you. I want you to look up the name of Jack Kemp. and see what Jack Kemp did to actually try and improve African American lives. Jack Kemp was Ronald Reagan's Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and he knew about the plight of the black people. And he went into the inner cities and tried to set up tax zones with tax relief, trying to encourage businesses to come into the inner cities where most African Americans lived at the time, to try and encourage them to build businesses in order to raise up the standard of living of African Americans. And that came from a white conservative Republican that was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for a white conservative president. Don't you understand what's going on here? You are all being played by your worthless president as a bunch of damn chumps. And I'm even going to go further than that. Think about this. Look at all the African Americans who made something of themselves in administrations of white Republicans. There's Condoleezza Rice, George W. Bush, Secretary of Defense. There's Colin Powell. He was George Bush's Secretary of Defense and his Secretary of State. There's all sorts of people right now, congressional conservative Republicans who are African Americans. And here, you African Americans may be interested in this little historical fact, because this proves my point probably beyond anything I just said. The Congressional Black Caucus will not let Representative Alan West from Florida in their ranks. Why? Because Alan West, of course, is an African American, but he's a conservative Republican. He's also a honored veteran of this country, and the Congressional Black Caucus won't let him in because he's A, Republican, and B, a conservative. Apparently, the Congressional Black Caucus doesn't really want to hear what African Americans have to say if they are Republican or they're conservatives. It's hypocrisy at its best. Now, I got this to say to you damn African Americans, considering all that you have heard, which party is it that is leaving you in these chains? Is it the Democratic Party that allows you to languish in poverty and despair? Or do you want to go the other way? Because the one man who has been compared to Jack Kemp, and a great comparison is none other than Paul Ryan. That's right, this right-wing extremist that you're going to hear about actually is a student of Jack Kemp's, and he understands how to raise the African-American community out of the poverty that the Democrats have enslaved them in, and give every African-American a chance at the American dream, which is far more than you can say for the Democratic Party, past and present. Until next time, this is your favorite conservative, Ronald Reagan, saying this to you now. When travesties like this break out, my tirades break in. Ever